Hey everybody, it's CR with Everyday Life in Arizona. It's another beautiful sunny day here. I hope it's beautiful where you are as well. I want to tell you about my experience getting a bonded title here in Arizona. Maybe it'll be interesting to a few of you, or maybe just interesting to hear about it, but this is my story. I bought this golf cart that I'm sitting in new in 2007 when I lived in the state of Tennessee. And at the time, I did not get a title for it. Well, when we moved to Arizona about 13 years ago, we used it for a few years, but then it's primarily sat on the side of my home for the last 8 or so years. Last month, I had the wild idea to refurbish it. I wanted to use it again, and so I took the cover off and I did several upgrades to it, several of which are on my YouTube channel. I put a new lithium battery in it, I put new wheels and tires and seat covers, and etc. Additionally, I wanted it to be legal to use. I didn't want my neighbors pointing the finger at me. I didn't want the authorities getting onto me. So I researched, how do you legally operate a golf cart on this public streets in Arizona? And it has to be licensed. Well, that just means that it has to be registered. But to get registered, that starts with a title, which I didn't have. So in Arizona, and I'm guessing it's probably like this in most states, there is a bonded title process. And all that means is you're applying for a title and you're going through this process because you don't either have your title for your motor vehicle or you have lost it. But to start the bonded title process, I went to our local MVD, in fact, a third party MVD. And if you're not familiar with what those are, here in Arizona, the state allows private companies to be certified and to operate on their behalf and do all the things that the state MVD can do: driver's license, title work, etc. That process begins by taking your golf cart, in this case, physically to the MVD so they can do what's called a level 1 inspection. And what they're doing is they're making sure that the golf cart is really there, that there's a VIN on it, and mine does have a VIN. And they're trying to validate the identity of this cart. While I didn't have a title, I did have a bill of sale from 18 years ago that I was proud that I had saved. And there was a VIN on the bill of sale. So the representative looked at the two VIN plates on my cart, looked at the bill of sale, and said, okay, yes, this is this item. They also do an inspection on the functions that you have to operate a golf cart on a public road. And they are spelled out differently than not only automobiles, but LSVs, low speed vehicles. The threshold for what a golf cart has to operate on a public road is actually a pretty low threshold. All you have to have is front headlights, rear tail lights, brake lights, brakes that work, and a horn. Seat belts are not even required, nor a front windshield. So my golf cart has all those accessories and functions. So the customer service person comes out, performs the level 1 inspection. We go back inside and we begin the paperwork on the bonded title process. She starts to look up. There are no lien holders. I paid cash for it when I bought it back in 2007, so that was an easy hurdle to cross. And there was no other ownership issues to verify. The next step is they have to determine a value on the golf cart or on the item. So she did some general Googling, I think, on year, make, and model, and looked at a few other resources that she may have had, and came up with a value of my cart of $5,000. Well, the reason that comes into play is because the bond value per Arizona law has to be 1.5 times the assessed value of the cart. So I had to get a bond for $7,500, and it worked out great. The third party MVD that I used had an affiliate company that is under their umbrella that is a bond company and issues these types of bonds. So they communicate back and forth easily. They're part of the same company. And so that was a smooth process. They sent my information over. It was the next day, though I was at the MVD late on the first day, like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So really, basically the same day service, certainly within 24 hours. The bond came back and they sent it back to the MVD. They get that. They sign off on it. I sign off on it. And then we are good to go with a bonded title. And it will say that on it when I get it. I should get the paper copy soon. So I've got the bonded title backed by the surety bond. And then I can immediately register my golf cart for a tag, which I did. In Arizona, you can do 1 year or 2 year registration. I chose to do two. That was $85. And I'll tell you the prices, the cost of everything else here in just a second. So I was able to get it registered right then, got my temp tag, and my permit tag will come in the mail soon. To begin the bonded title process, it was a flat $200 fee. And then the surety bond for the $7,500 was $113. And then the 2 year registration was $85. So not bad, around $400. The biggest hurdle I had to cross was getting my golf cart to the MVD office, which was only 2 miles down the road. But I don't have a truck or a trailer. I didn't really want to bother any of my friends that do. So I looked into U-Haul, and that was a great solution. They rent regular pickup trucks, and they also rent various size cargo trailers, these open trailers that have 2-foot sides all the way around with a ramp on it. The 12-foot trailer worked for me. My golf cart's 11.5 feet long. When I got there to U-Haul, they had the pickup truck and the cargo trailer ready to go. I drove to my house, loaded my golf cart, took it down to the MVD 2 miles down the road, left it in the cart for the person to come outside and inspect it. Finished up 2 hours later with the other paperwork, brought the golf cart back home, offloaded, and returned the U-Haul truck and trailer. And that was a total of about 4 hours, which was not too bad, and it was $98. The truck and trailer are rented by the day, and the truck additionally has a per mile fee. So I went about 20 miles total, and $98 to tote my golf cart there, I thought was a good solution without having to depend on anybody else's schedule to borrow or have them help me with their truck. The last thing I'll mention to you is, per Arizona law, you do have to have insurance on your vehicle, full liability coverage. So I called Progressive, who I have my automobile and home with, and they were able to easily write me a policy for my golf cart. It's not in addition to my automobiles, it's actually a separate one. And they do motorcycles, ATVs, jet skis, and golf carts, I guess recreational stuff. So check this out. I got the same coverage levels as my automobile. It's 25,000, 50,000, uninsured motorist, theft, all of that stuff. Medical coverage if somebody's hurt. And for all that coverage equal to my automobiles, it's a whopping $75 a year. So that was easy. The only other thing you have to operate your golf cart on an Arizona public road is a valid driver's license. There is one other thing. You can only operate a golf cart on a road that has a posted speed limit of 35 miles an hour or less, which I think is smart and great. I don't want to drive it on anything faster than that. I was out this morning on a road that had 25, another road that had 35, and that's as fast as you want somebody driving around you or passing you. So I'm good to go. I am fully licensed and insured, and nobody can shake their finger at me, and the popo shouldn't bother me. I've got a top speed of about 18 miles an hour, which is just fine to enjoy around. Now I can go to Costco and to the grocery store and to the handful of restaurants that are within a close range. I hope that helped a bit. If nothing else, I hope it was interesting, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes. I appreciate that. I hope everyone's doing well. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.